Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody. Hey, I'll just say right out from the start, we have solved all the world's problems. It's just going to be a thing to kind of implement what the four of us have decided needs to happen. And once we get that figured out, all your worries will disappear.
Oh, yeah.
Most of
Yeah. And in the meantime, we're wearing cool hats. So.
Well, that's all Dennis's fault.
That's Dennis's fault. Dennis is out at the lake.
He's adventuring
getting
today.
ready to go walleye rodeoing. And so we all decided to wear our hats. Except for Jerry. We had to make Jerry wear one.
Yeah.
Are you going to the rodeo?
I like the other hat Jerry had on better, personally. But
it's too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine. These are bad enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope everybody's doing good.
Yeah.
Had a good week.
What's everybody up
we
to?
have.
I see some people in chat. They're going to work on the railroads today. Sounds like a busy railroad today. Today is National Train Day.
Well, it's better than talking about the world's problems.
Yeah, today is National Train Day. So,
National Train Day?
Is it really?
Yeah, seriously.
Train Day or Model Train Day?
No, Train Day.
Train Day. Okay.
Well, you could say.
Does everybody get the day off?
No, you got to work because people are out there looking for you.
Oh,
somebody's got to drive the train. You're not doing it anymore, Steve. Somebody's got
doing what? I'm not doing
driving
what?
the train.
Operating the train.
No, we operate. We don't drive.
Yeah, operate.
You don't steer at all, do you?
Not driving.
Wow, look at all these people in chat. Holy moly.
Hey, Steve, who's here, Steve? Who's here?
We got a lot, man. We got Rob T-Man, Dave Stevens, Lynn McCurdy, Tammy, Mom and Son. Good morning. Stephen Wigwag, Jeff Thornton. We got Brian. Good morning, Brian Iron Horse, Model Railroad, and JD Grandpa Rail, Scott Baker. Good morning, Al Marr, Steve Anderson, Steve Childers, and Roy Hardwick. Yeah, I saw your video, Roy. That was really cool. You're not supposed to be videotaping while you're driving, dude. Anyway, Mark Pruitt, CB and Q, Wyoming. How are you? Let's see who we got. I'm going back. Jeff Thornton. Good morning, Jeff. Gerald Stewart, Steve Sherrill. Oh boy, we got 4 Steves in the house. Holy moly, that is fantastic. DES, Dave. Good morning.
At least 4.
Yeah. Paul Schwanderer. I hope I said that right. Bernard, my buddy Bernard. Good morning, Bernard. And Sparky's in the house. Sparky was in early. Chris Brew. Good morning, Chris. Anyway, if I missed you, I'm sorry. Good morning.
There's a lot of people.
Just a second. I'm going to. Oops, that's too big. No second. I've got something that we need to show you. Oh, if I can get it on here. Okay. Now,
What? You're
Sparky,
mumbling.
I think most of you guys know Sparky's having a meet and greet, and this is a flyer for it. Hopefully, you can read that.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
That's really tough.
Especially on a phone or something, yeah. Anyway, Sparky's having the meet and greet. That was kind of worthless one.
We should have wear this hat. Maybe I'll wear this.
Yeah, meet and greet. And what's the dates on this? I don't see. Oh, here we go. August 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And let's say that's as big as I can get it and still keep it on the screen.
It's in Canada, so be advised of that. It's in Canada. It's happening in Canada.
Got to go to Canada. So.
Got to go to Canada to enjoy it.
I don't have a passport anymore.
Anyway, okay. Where'd I go here?
I don't know. Where'd you go?
All righty. Anyway, get a hold of. Go to Sparky's channel. He's got the information there. So if you're interested in doing the meet and greet there.
That's I put a link to Sparky's channel there. Go check out Sparky's videos on the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something that will interest you, and you'll go visit.
Yeah. If I was in the East, I'd be more apt to, especially the Northeast, I'd be more apt to go up there.
I don't have a passport, and apparently, like that real ID won't get you into Canada.
No, I don't think it works for going into Canada.
I don't know why they got to be so picky. What's the deal?
Although
with
the
that?
one time I went to Canada, they gathered our passports on the bus, and the guy took them in, and they came back and handed all the passports back. We weren't there 5 minutes. But, so I don't even think they looked at the passports. Coming back into the country, it was right after 9/11, so coming back into the country was a mess.
But something about the passport. A passport costs you like $130 to get.
Well, it used to be more than that. I don't know what it is now.
Maybe even more.
Yeah.
What am I going to use a passport?
It was
for?
400 something, I think, the first one we got.
No offense, Sparky, but I don't want to go to Canada that bad.
It's too cold there.
You probably don't need a passport. I don't know what it's like now, but I doubt you need a passport.
It's too cold in Canada.
Yeah.
So I saw a container man went to visit Dave Todd.
I saw that
Dave.
too.
Feel sorry for you, Dave.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I had Roy visit
Roy's
me
a
about
good
3
guy.
years ago.
That sounds great.
Always a good guy. Anyway, what were we talking about? Slave in the world.
Sparky's
I
meeting
want Jerry, I want you to show us your layout. Is your layout there close?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see your video.
I didn't either. I was too busy wheeling.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drop out of
Sparky.
here and I'm going to go to my phone. All right.
Okay.
So you look for me
Don't
down
drop
there.
too hard.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Roy
Hardwick.
Jeff Thornton has a question for you while we're waiting on Jerry. Are you running only Rio Grande power, or are you relying forward in like Eastern narrow gauge?
I have no plans for any Eastern narrow gauge stuff. I do have one EBT hopper that I purchased. When I purchased it, I didn't really even know what the EBT was at that time. So I've got one really foreign hopper running around. The plan is eventually to have as much OC and RG equipment as I can. I haven't quite figured out the scenario or the story behind all of that, but the OC and RG will be one section of the railroad that will probably have bridge traffic or whatever. I don't know the correct terminology for the Denver and Rio Grande.
Yeah, mine. I've got a lot of rolling stock with not a lot, but I've got some rolling stock with White Pass lettering and stuff on it. I've also got some Colorado Southern. What's the other one? South Park, Denver and South Park. Got a couple with that on it. So some of that kind of stuff, but all fairly close except for the White Pass.
Yeah, I've got Colorado and Southern. I think mostly is what you're going to see on mine. Aha.
Okay, Jerry, you're on.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
All right. So anybody, John 2618, he's a friend of mine. He came over on Wednesday, and this is what we put together. There's 9 turnouts on my layout. It's only 8 feet long from here to here. Right? Sorry, Dennis.
I'll survive.
Yeah, you'll be all right. But so what's going to happen here is this is kind of like that back track and those 2 tracks there. Is that locomotive too loud?
Yeah.
It sounded more like feedback.
Shut it off. It's just the locomotive going through its cycles.
What's going to be in all that space in front of there, Jerry, where your pliers are?
Here?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, down there is going to be a building, transload building there. Here will be like a road, parking lot, something going to a facility at this end. Back there in between those two tracks will be a seam block, and that is going off to the interchange. That's my interchange. So you won't really see it. It goes off into infinity. And I'm going to put a road along this back wall here that's going to go to a building here, right? It's going to service this. And this is my main line here, right? It goes through to that back other opposite corner. So I got enough room to do a runaround here, and somewhere else there's a runaround. I don't know the stuff. So, and this track, I can move this track and this track. They're not glued down. Everything else is glued down. And there'll be something here. I'm just not sure what will be here. A propane rack, something, just like a single industry. And there'll be a road that is in this negative area. Maybe I'll put something else here. I really don't know.
What number turnouts are those?
So most of them are number 5s. I have 2 6s, and the 2 6s are on the main line. And then I have this one here is a Y, a number 4 Y. They're all Walthers, DCC. I have 5 drops. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we came up with the track plan like in a couple of hours, and then the next day, John came and we started laying track. I mean, there's not much track here, right? So it's basically almost a box, 10 pieces of flex track. I got a lot of cut-ups.
Is that Homosote that you got it on?
Yeah, so it's on Homosote. Let me tell you, man. I used a clear Alex Plus to put it down with, and I can't see chat, so
well, they're all telling you it looks really good.
And yeah, we were pushing the pins in to kind of like keep it, so it didn't move around until it dried. And I'll tell you what, the Homosote is hard to push into. I mean,
it'll hold nails and stuff really well.
Oh, heck yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think the nice thing about Homosote over a foam is once you wallow out foam and stick stuff into it, that's it, right? It doesn't hold anything really.
It doesn't heal itself.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yes, it doesn't seal around whatever you're putting in it. There's still a lot of good holding power, so it's good for putting trees in and anything else that you want to stick into it that's going to stay and won't come loose. I was really surprised how hard it was to push in, like those big pegboard push pins. That really impressed me. I've never worked with Homosote before, but if it's available to
things
you.
Bad about Homosote. One of them is finding the product.
Yeah.
The second is it's a mess to cut.
Yeah.
But other than that,
yes to both.
That's why it's been in the hobby for so long, because it's a fantastic sub road bed.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, I'm fortunate my lumber yard carries it. It's around $35 for a 4x8 sheet, 1/2 inch, which I think is pretty reasonable.
That's a good price, yeah.
Yeah, I just cut it with a circular saw with a fine blade on it, and it was fine.
Yeah, just keep a vacuum there next to you and vacuum as you're cutting it. It won't be too bad.
Yeah,
especially if you're outside.
Yeah, you're not going to cut it with a box blade or something like that. It's too
Good. Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Jerry. Kyle Stevens is asking, what's the difference between number switches 6, 8, and 10? A lot of people don't understand how that works.
So if I had a loose one, I would show you. But like they just, can you see this here? They just keep getting bigger. Like a 4 is small, right? It's shorter. The radius, that diverging track is, I think, tighter, right?
Yeah.
Well, the way
And,
the way it works is the angle of it's a
right.
like a 6 is a 6 to 1.
Oh,
So
is that what it is?
if you go out, say on a full size, if you go out 6 feet, then you've got a 1 foot
Right.
distance between the two
So
rails.
like, can you see here, like, here's the switch here, how this is, the diverging track is going off. So this is a 6. Like if it was a 5, it would be a little tighter this way, The
No, it'd be
bigger
the
the
other way.
number, right?
No,
The bigger the, huh?
the bigger the number, the narrower the gap is.
The narrower this gap is?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like if
Because it's
like a number
longer.
12, a number
Right,
12, like on your little guy right there,
right,
if you measured out 6 inches or 12 inches all the way out from that diverging
right.
spot on your frog, then you would have 1 inch
So
between the
out to
two
here.
rails. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. If
Okay.
it was a number 12.
Yeah,
If it was
right,
12.
right. Yeah, and their length gets bigger, right? A 5 is small
Yeah.
in length
Yeah.
wise. This way.
Exactly.
And that's why you can run smaller equipment on the smaller number turnouts.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you're running, like, I'm only running 4-axle locomotives, so 4s, 5s deal with this fine. But if you're using number 4 turnouts and you're running 6-axle locomotives, and bigger cars, they might have a little problem dealing with it.
Exactly.
So that's the other thing. But you need real estate for those switches, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of real estate here, so I'm trying to maximize my space and my layout operations, and that's why I chose 5s.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a lot of space, so my layout's not going to have 50 cars on it. There's just not enough room. So you got to give some things up if you're limited on space, and I'm fine with that. We talked about in the green room, like, running wise, like, yeah, I mean, if you're into just running, this isn't your type of layout. If you're into just building things, scenery, things like that, this is your type of layout. If you want to just have some fun switching, a little puzzle, this is your type of layout. But if you're into running, this isn't your type of layout. Yeah, it just isn't going to happen. But which I'm fine with, because now at this point, I would rather build a building, spend a lot of time building something to go there and detail it really well than to run trains.
What are you going to use for your backdrop, Jerry?
Undecided. I might. I don't know. Deeper on Mike over there. He did some photo backdrops. I might try doing that in some spots, but I'm not going to put like a continuous backdrop, I don't think. The backdrops are just too expensive, that I've been saying. Like, to put a backdrop on here, it would cost me like $300, and I don't really spend that much. In the places that I've looked for backdrops, So, but
I think mine only cost for my time saver. I want to say I paid like 120. I don't remember.
Where'd you get yours at?
Larkspur.
Okay.
Of course, it depends on how much sky you have too. I mean, I intentionally didn't put a lot of sky in mine.
Right. And
I wouldn't think it would cost anywhere near 300.
I've only found a couple places that have a big selection of backdrop photos. You know, I don't want mountains or anything. This is, this is New Jersey, a little industrial railroad. There's no mountains here. You know, it's mostly like what would happen in the backdrop here would be like in an industrial setting. It would be like buildings off in the distance or something. You know,
You
not.
could always try painting it, Jerry, yourself.
No, I tried doing clouds over there. Forget it. You see what's there now, right?
Well, don't do clouds.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I can't paint buildings. If I can't paint clouds, I can't paint buildings.
Hey Jerry, I've got from the guy that I bought my my backdrops from. I've got some files, a series of files that he made that you
Right.
can print on a regular printer
Uh huh.
and piece them together.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of city scenes and industrial scenes in there.
Oh,
And
okay.
I can send those to you.
Yeah, send them to me. I'll check them out. Yeah,
And then you
maybe
can
I
just
could get
print
them.
them right there on the printer if you've got a printer.
Yeah, Jerry, Dave Todd says he's used pictures he's collected from Google Earth from the areas he's modeling and print them off his printer.
Really? You printed them off your printer, Dave? That's pretty cool to know. You print them on like photo paper? Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, so like yeah, if you guys got suggestions, put them in the comments or go over to my video. I'll put once I come back into the chat the other way, I'll put my channel, the video for this, and you guys can go give me some ideas. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's like I went from this gray stuff to this in literally a couple hours. And again, there's not much here, right? But
well,
the
other nice thing about the Homo Soda is it'll hold paint,
yeah,
or ground cover or anything
yeah,
like that. I always paint mine a brown or something like
right,
that underneath
yeah,
first with the base color, and
yeah.
then put the ground foam on. But it covers really well, holds all that stuff really nice.
Yeah, I decided to paint mine gray.
And Jerry, Dave says he just uses regular paper.
Regular paper. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's good to know. But yeah, you know, I was talking about in the green room, like I'm a rail fan, right? My modeling thing is an oval. You know, my end scale layout was, you know, just basically an oval, two running tracks and some spurs. You know, so I don't really know how the railroad works, like how it functions in a modeling sense where you can have movement and still be able to do things, you know, not tie yourself up with not being able to move cars around. So it pays to have somebody that knows that in modeling and can help you. And it really showed here because John has an idea, you know, he knows how they work and modeling wise, and I'm sure he knows how real trains work too, but you know, and it kind of like he was able to bring a lot and still have it look nice and not like so crowded that it's just not.
I have a question,
Not
Jerry, on your
look.
to make a runaround move for your spotting, or where you have to leave your cars to run. How many cars can you put on a runaround?
I think two is like my biggest that I can fit, which is fine because, you know, most of my industries are only going to hold one car, maybe two cars. Now, this isn't like I'm not going to pull 10 cars on this layout. You know, a run by or something just to goof around, but to really work, I'm just not. I don't have that much room.
Do you have the room? You said you've got a main line that runs in front of that. Suppose it. Move back so I can see. Okay. Okay. So there's your main line. Let's see.
Corner, right, and it goes straight back to that other corner, right?
Okay.
You get it? Like it's like right here.
So that would be your main line then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you can see this pointer here, but
Yeah. Okay.
it goes this way. The locomotive's on it, and it just continues straight to that back track at the very back corner. Yeah. I mean, I can fit a big train there, but where am I going to go with it? You know?
Right. Okay.
But yeah, just for messing around, guys. But again, like I'm not like I'm a rail fan, so like I like to see trains go by. Here, I really can't experience that, but I can mess around, move
Well,
things
what
around.
you could do is take that front track. I'm just I don't know
Yeah,
how
this
it's
one here.
this one and put a turnout just about right there
Yeah,
and run it
run something
uh,
that way.
like where that boxcar is sitting. Have that
Yeah.
track, that your front track be your main line.
Oh,
That
I
one
see what
right
you're
there,
saying. Yeah,
and then
put a
everything on the
turnout in
opposite.
and then go and connect to that one.
No, have that track move to the left of that boxcar. Okay, point to your boxcar.
Right,
Okay. Okay, now drop your pointer down.
right,
No, to the backdrop where your homosote and
right,
your backdrop. Now move it a little bit. Okay, now if you run from that pointer
right. All the way
to
back here.
to where that turnout where that you were had it in the beginning and make that your main line.
Yeah,
Go
I know what
there.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then have everything back there be your industries. And
kind of
then you
like
could use your main line to store your cars.
that.
No, further in, close to the
Well,
locomotive.
I know, but
Yeah, something along that line.
yeah, that's an idea too. Yeah,
And then
and like this track is not glued in, so I
yeah,
could
because see
do
that
something
track
like
right
that.
there would give you
And then that
room.
track would I connect this track here?
No,
No, okay.
it would be
Okay.
imaginary. Would be it off to
Yeah, yeah.
infinity
So
because that would be your.
yeah. So the thing is, there's going to be a building to the left of that boxcar, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be just like there's going to be
Well,
a building.
that line could come out closer to the front of the layout.
Yeah, so there's going to be a
If it's
building
going to
like here,
be, yeah.
right?
So the
You know?
line Steve's talking about making the main
Yeah, I
line
know
to
what
be
you're
over by
saying.
where you just put your hand. Yeah,
Right.
out like that,
Yeah.
and have room come in front of that
Yeah.
building if you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do something like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, you've still got some space there that you could
Yeah.
do a
Yeah.
line like that. That's not actually a
Yeah. Yeah. So
track you're going to use
here's
a
the
lot.
thing, right? So I'm just going to mess around for now, see how I like it, and then if I want to make changes, make changes. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
it runs good. I mean, yeah, it runs over everything really smooth and slow, and yeah, it's a work in progress.
Jerry Hughes says he's hanging out with Rod Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. at his at their hunting camp in North Carolina. They both
Nice.
said your layout is awesome.
Ah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Now, are you joking or are you serious?
He's joking. All right, I'm going to drop out and come back in the other one. All right.
You never know. He might be serious.
It could be.
It might be.
Yeah.
Because I don't know either one of them. So
I don't either.
Could be. Anyway, well, we have Dennis show us stuff, but he's out in the boonies, even further than
Well,
he
obviously the fishing boat didn't show up yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I wasn't really expecting him to be here until 10 anyway, so.
Well, I'm not a walleye fisherman. What bait do you use for walleye?
Gale.
I don't know. I mean, if we go trolling, I'm just going to use like a spoonbill. I'm not a fisherman, so.
Well, I fish largemouth bass and trout, so and they both take different kinds of bait.
You know,
I'm just curious.
But yeah, but what I was talking about, Jerry, having that main line, you could just kind of imagine a local coming in
Yeah.
from that left side, stopping, and then doing your switching there. And
Yeah, I mean, I could build a train there, kind of, I guess. I mean, or take
just
from it. Yeah,
just a thought.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll be coming back for more thoughts.
Oh, Dave, we have to. Dave wants to know what's up with the hats again. It's
Well,
National Hat Day.
Okay. Well, check out Dennis's label there. It's Adventure Hat. And we're all on an adventure. Unless you talk to my wife, she says we're all a dork. So
Dennis is like on vacation, so he like dresses the part.
this is the hat that I put on when I pull the camper trailer. It's my adventure hat.
there you go.
Hey, look at that. We've got Tim Parks in the house. Good morning,
Uh-oh.
Tim.
Yeah,
He's
so
telling
I'm
us something
going
we
back.
already know.
I'm scrolling back and I see Sparky says sometimes less track is better, makes for more scenery and buildings. I agree. I'm not a
Yep.
clutter person.
Yeah.
I'm not a clutter person. I don't like a lot of clutter.
Well, I think that's one of the main problems most modelers have when they first start putting a track plan
Yeah.
in. Is they get way too much track. And you're right, it does takes away from the scenery.
Yeah. So
Can't-
Brian, I guess Brian had a question. How wide is that board? Was he talking about me? If you were Brian, at the widest point, it's 33 inches. At the narrowest point, it's 22 inches. It's 8 foot, a little more than 8 foot long. Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, since it has different depths, was it built for a specific space? Is that why it's got 30 and
So here's the thing, right? I saw in like, I don't know, Model Railroader or something, some guy built an L girder layout, right? And that's what mine is. And that's how it was, you know. And I thought, oh, that's pretty neat because it gives you a lot of room at one end to do something. And that's event like beginning, right? When I came up with this, there was going to be a curve coming off going into like a yard area, right? Well, I couldn't get that because it just didn't look right, didn't work right. So I had to ditch it. There was going to be at that big end
is that the end to the far left? Is that the one
that's the wider part, the
deeper?
far left. Yeah, the deeper part. There was going to be a scrap yard there. Oh, you know, it all works good here, right? But once you start putting it down there, it don't work sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And even in any rail, it worked, but the person I had helping me in any rail misunderstood and made my layout bigger than it was, longer. So it would have worked if it was longer, but it's not. It's not the case. So.
Well, it's amazing how it looks when you're on paper or drawing out, and then you actually put it down to your limit. It ain't gonna work.
Realize you don't have near the space you think you have.
Yeah,
you can do lots of things in the computer that the second you try and do it in the physical space, it just doesn't work like you think it should have.
Yeah.
And that even goes with train planning programs. They're a great help because it takes a lot less time to come up with the plan, but you still have to be careful how you're laying stuff in. And so I never take a track plan as gospel. It's always just a guide. It's a general idea of what I want, and that's what I used the Empire Express for, and it worked. It worked for that. It worked great, but it didn't come out just like I drew it on the paper or on the computer. It came out almost completely different. The main shape and everything was about that size, but I had to change a lot of stuff.
So I see there's somebody new in chat here. True North. The True North Strong Free. He has a layout, and he's talking about yeah.
That's a neat way to approach something.
Configuration based on the environment. That's a way to do it.
Yeah, everybody has a different way. Mine was do the track and then figure out everything else. And that's kind of like, that's how I work with everything, do that.
Yeah. Well,
and then I can build buildings to fit. Yeah.
Yeah. What I did on mine was I knew I wanted the mountains to be the main emphasis. So everything that I tried to do was based on being in the mountains.
Right.
And getting that main feature in the middle of it, which I was able to do. But it took several tries at a layout to get something that was going to work right.
Right.
As far as it goes, that part worked real well.
I've got a question. Well, first of all, True North, what's your name? What's your first name? And what scale do you model? How big's your layout?
Yeah.
Come on and show it to us. Sounds cool.
Yeah, like I see a lot of guys, and I'm not, if you don't want to, that's fine. There's a lot of guys here that have channels and model, but they don't have any videos. How about making a little video of your layout or something and sharing it? It doesn't have to be a big production. Just share what you got going on.
Couldn't be any worse than mine.
No, mine either. So it's okay. Nobody's going to judge you.
Yeah. No,
it's a way to show people. And if you make one video and never make another one, that's fine too. But don't be bashful. Share what you got. That's how the whole community works, right? Yeah, share and chat, but like once your chat's going. But your channel and videos are there, and you can keep interacting with people that way. And you learn. That's how you learn. I mean, that's
exactly how it happened with me. I started my channel only because I had a couple of people asking me what I was doing, what it looked like, and so I put that on YouTube. But I wasn't out to do a big giant channel at any point. It got a little bit bigger, as the layout grew and stuff. But it got me into this. Now I'm doing. Now I do this every Saturday.
Yeah.
So and I've met so many people in the community. That's the biggest thing.
Tons. I mean, I've met so many people in the community, like face to face, and even on here, it's like there's a lot of people out there that are, cool people. You share one thing, model trains, but then you can share other things too. You might have the same interests in other things too. But the one bond is model trains.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Claude, how's the demolition coming on yours?
I didn't get up there this week at all, and I'm trying to think of what I was doing. Why I didn't get up there.
Claude, I think your mics up here aren't working. I think you're on your other mics. But that's okay. I don't know if Dennis is annoyed.
Can you hear me?
Are you annoyed, Dennis?
Well, he's had this weird noise even before we started the show on my end, but no one else said they heard it, so I've just been ignoring it.
Ever since I was born, Dennis.
Yeah.
That's a natural irritant.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered whether or not his battery was going dead, but I don't know.
I don't think
Hardly Memphis. I don't. You can't share a link in chat, but you can chat. I don't know what you wanted to share, what you want to post.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on, Hugh.
Don't be afraid to share your layout, Hugh. It's okay.
He says he's afraid of sharing it. If you all saw my work, I'm sure you would question yourselves and probably give. Look at me, man.
Yeah, it could.
Anytime somebody wants to come on the show and share about their layout, you don't have to have your own channel. Just come on the show and show us right here.
They're here.
Or take photos of it and put it on our Facebook group.
Yeah, post. Yeah, go over to our Facebook, Harley Memphis, if
Or
you're
just
on
Harley
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, go join in the group on Facebook, and you can post your pictures and stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see Huge Assholes layout.
Yeah. Got another new name. Is
Fully
it?
prepared to be stunned and amazed. There's nothing I would like more.
Yeah.
You'll be
Well,
amazed.
and a new one. Is it ectodocious? Is that how you say it? He said, "Love
Yeah,
seeing
he's
other
been around.
lads."
Ectodocious is how I would pronounce it. Yeah.
Always inspiring.
He's been around for a while. His layout's pretty cool. His layout's in the closet and it's at nighttime. You got to go check out his layout. It's pretty. It's different. It's really different. It's cool. It's different, right? Who says you got to do this and got to do that? And it's like it's different. But he runs trains. It's all about running trains, right? Like, hey, I see people that still have plywood and nothing on it, and they're running trains. They're happy. They're running trains. Who
Well,
cares?
that's the thing.
Right?
That's why the hobby's so good, because
Right.
it's so diverse on what you can get out of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not really the running the trains. That's the gravy after that's the icing on top of the cake.
Right.
But I like making the cake. For me, that's the best part of the hobby.
I like eating the cake.
That and this, together.
Did you hear what Gail
Camaraderie and
said?
stuff is fun.
Oh, I didn't know. I said it that loud.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't hear it.
She says she loves eating the cake.
Well, she made it. It's probably pretty good.
Yeah, Gail's trolling us.
Hi, everybody.
I know.
Hey, Gail. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, are you guys really going to a rodeo today?
What's that?
It's called the Walleye Rodeo. It's a big fishing tournament.
There's a fishing tournament, but it's actually next weekend. We're just if you want to go to the Walleye Rodeo and have a spot to camp, you have to
get there beforehand, huh?
Well, we bought our spot here, A23, probably 6 months ago.
Wow.
So
yeah, okay, wow.
And then we bought it for the whole week. I don't know if it was because that was the only way we could get the weekend or how all of it worked, but you have to plan well ahead to get a spot here on the weekend of the Walleye Rodeo.
I thought you were going to a real rodeo with bucking bulls and stuff.
No, that's in July.
Okay.
Generally late June, July.
Like you don't have rodeos every weekend there?
No.
Man, we have rodeos here in New Jersey every weekend.
Somewhere every weekend, but because the one that we have in the little town that I grew up in, it does have a sanctioned PBR, whatever.
I have several students that do perform rodeo.
Yeah, so there's always one going on, but not all of them are I don't even know
the big one.
The ones that are
right.
That you get points for the IFR, whatever it is.
That I always win money and stuff.
Well, but they don't always happen at Woodward every weekend. Is the point I'm trying to make? Is that there's one that goes on that's a big one that.
Here in New Jersey, from Memorial Day on, we have a rodeo every weekend. It's at Cowtown Rodeo. Every weekend rodeo. It's pretty cool.
Well, you got a lot more people up there than we do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I think Oklahoma Cowboys rodeos. It's every weekend.
Well, and I'm sure there is somewhere every weekend.
Not in your
area. They move around. They don't all go to the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
every little town has a rodeo arena. You can count on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not like the rattlesnake rodeo where they all go to the Washita Mountains.
Dennis, will you lay out
and hunt
rattlesnake?
You mean Winoka? Do what, Jerry?
Winoka?
Yeah, Winoka.
I was wondering, will your layout have a rodeo arena?
I don't think it'll have a rodeo arena, but it will for sure have at least two. I mean, it's already got one, and I've got plans for another set of cattle pens. And I want to find a place for a packing house in Cloud City. I do want a packing house somewhere.
That would be awesome. You have all the stock trailers come to the
Mm-hmm.
yard.
Yeah, that's what I had on mine in the big packing facility.
There's a lot that can happen there, right? You got product, animals coming in,
Reefers going out.
Reefers going out. There's a lot that can happen on that little spot.
Yeah, and I had mine set up for narrow gauge and standard gauge to get in there. So
especially
I
at
had them
that,
bringing in from the standard gauge, and then the narrow gauge could bring theirs in, and then they
like
took out
back
the beef
then,
when it was after it was.
Back then, would the reefers have been ice cooled?
Yeah,
that's what they are on
block
my
ice.
You got
railroad.
another industry in there, right?
Exactly. So you got an ice house too that you got to have.
Yep.
And to ice the reefers up. But yeah, that's before they came up with all the mechanical stuff like the mechanical refrigeration and stuff, and diesels and stuff like that. You had a lot more stuff you could put on a layout to service everything that you're using to run the railroad.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
all of that kind of stuff adds up in interest, I think, in a railroad. But it also takes space. So, not everybody's got all the space they need.
Not everybody has. So, like, if you don't have a lot of space, pick one or two, three things and concentrate on them. Don't, more is not always better. That's my thing,
Yeah, well, you can always have, say, a cooling tower or something can be off layout, or the water tower can be off layout, something like that, and you can have it within your railroad, but it's not actually on your layout. Just like you would have distant trains coming in from off layout. Do the same thing with service facilities or anything else that I mentioned. Yeah, it's the art of selective compression and getting on there what you want on it, and then finding a way to make it work, within the railroad that you got and the space you've got.
Yeah, you got to deal with the space you got, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's
your layout really looks pretty much just like a time saver. I think there's just
well, that's what it is, basically. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's can't even say it's like a point to point. It's just a time saver. It's just a glimpse of the railroad, this fictitious railroad, Timber Creek.
Does it have a name yet?
Yeah, Timber Creek Industrial.
Okay, I guess I hadn't heard that yet.
That's okay.
Where'd you come up with that name?
Because by me is a place called Big Timber Creek. I didn't want to pinpoint it, so I just shortened it, Timber Creek Industrial.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's just like a little glimpse. That's it. And beyond the tree line, it's bigger. It's like it's huge past there.
Yeah,
it goes on for hundreds of miles. Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's all what's in your head, right? I mean, that's all it's playing out in your head every time you go to your layout, it's just,
I like Lynn McCurdy's idea. He says sometimes more is better or slightly better. He likes running 7 to 8 locos with 80 to 100 cars.
Yeah. Everybody's got their thing, right? But if you got the room to do it, that's great. If you don't have the room to do it.
Well, I mean.
Or you try to do it and you really don't have the room to do it. Yeah. But there are people that try to do that in a little tiny space, where
I did that once when I first started. I think I couldn't quite get 100, but I've got a video of, I don't know, probably 80 or 90 cars on this thing. I got it to go around a couple times without derailing because I had mid-train helpers and pushers on the rear, and it almost met itself coming around. It was pretty nuts.
So I think one thing for people in chat, Lynn hasn't told you, he's part of a railroad club, huge club. So they got plenty of room. Yeah. It's not like he's in his garage running this. unless he's got a big garage like that.
Or
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody follows Ray at the Bessemer and Lake Erie, but he's got a railroad that he can run a 100-car train.
Yeah, it's huge, right?
Private railroad, kind of a rarity to be able to do that in a private owned railroad.
How big's his layout room? Do you know?
You know, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's big. It's in his basement, and I think it's much longer than it is wide.
Right.
I would guess that he's got at least 50 to 60 feet on his long walls.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to run multiple unit trains with lots of cars, you've got to plan it that way because otherwise,
and he's got like 3 decks as well.
Kind of like Sparky. Yeah, see, that's why Sparky can do that, because the way he's got it set up, so he can run long trains.
Yeah, I'm happy with my 10 to 12 car trains. I think it's just kind of perfect for the distance between towns and the look that I'm going for as well.
Yeah, well, they never ran long trains then anyway, really.
Right. Yeah.
No, I think you could probably have seen a 30-car train. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they had some decent sized trains.
They would have had double-headed or helpers on
it. And I can always double head too if I want to. I think I could very easily pull a 24-car train if I wanted to, but I don't think it would fit the layout size, the distance between towns. You know, if your front end is hitting the first switch at the next location and your caboose is in the town you just left, that just doesn't fit.
Yeah, like Kyle says, you know, he's got 2 industries and he's having fun with his 2 industries, and you know, that's fine. People can have 1 industry and have fun.
Hugh Jousel says he's got an app connected to YouTube that shows all the people that didn't hit the thumbs up button, and he wants to know. He should share the list.
Would you like the list?
Steve, I think if you was your neighbor, Steve, I think if you was your neighbor, you guys would like be buddies.
Well, we're not too concerned about the thumbs up on there. Since we're not.
No, but that is funny though.
Yeah.
Roy, I don't even have 100 cars. I barely have 80 or 85.
Well, have you ever thought about trying to hook them all up and pulling them?
Yeah, I have no desire to do that. That's, for one, you know, I'm operating the railroad, so every car is spotted at the correct location it should be at according to the program. And so in order for me to do that, I would have to, you know, break out of reality, and I have no desire to do that.
See you, JD. Have fun at your T-ball game. Yes, but it's all good when they run, but when they start coming off, it's like it's a nightmare.
And Sparky's got a great point there.
I had always planned on doing some double heads up the mountain with the narrow gauge, and they probably wouldn't have been over 10 cars. But if you've got enough grade to have to pull, and weight, then they needed that. There are some, or doing say snow clearing with the rotary snow plow. The narrow gauge, you can find it on YouTube, Cumbersome Toll Tech, with their steam powered rotary out front, and they've got 3 engines pulling it or pushing it. So,
you know, if you look around this hobby,
to put lots of power if you need it.
If you look around this hobby, there's every aspect of running. You got people like Jack that are like crawling real speed, and then you got, you know, your O-scale or Lionel people, and I'm not picking on the Lionel people that are full bore around the layout, you know, and it's like these trains are like flying by, you know, and that's just, what they
Well,
want.
Sparky could do something with the size of the layouts and the long trains he's got, where he runs two operators. Because with DCC, you can have your head end crew and your rear end crew, and try to run the longest trains you can with two differently controlled sets of power without string lining the train.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's pretty, you know,
That sounds
it
fun,
was
actually.
skill, because I used to go to a layout. It was horseshoe curve in the 50s and 60s, and the guys talked about, keeping the slack out, and like just enough, and so the cars don't do all this all the time, and it's like that's hard to do, man.
Yeah, so run a really, really long train with manned,
Yeah,
different engineers on the power. See if you
yeah.
get that train moving, or even
Yeah.
around the railroad without derailing the thing.
I know there's a guy, I absolutely can't recall the name of his channel, but he runs, I think it's in scale, and his whole operation base is just purely on cutting in and cutting out helpers to make a grade. Like his whole kind of operating scheme is just based on, the helpers that are needed to get the train from point A to point B. They cut off. I think he's got it worked out where he can cut them out even while they're still running.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty cool,
Pretty
and the scenery is just amazing scenery. I wish I could remember the name of the channel off the top of my head, but I can't.
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
I think I think he does Norfolk Southern, but I'm not really sure.
So if somebody modeled the saluted grade, where the grade's like,
I was thinking it was UP, but I could be wrong.
That would be pretty cool.
It could be.
Well, Brian had asked if he could put some links on the channel for a contest he's running on his channel, but I've lost him. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, exactly, Sparky. That's he says being a helper engine is a bit of an art form. Push too hard, the cars come off the track. Don't pull, the cars tip over. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that would be a fun op session to just try to get that thing over the road and not derail it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an idea too, Scott Baker. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with, like I said, I'm going to run my layout and see how I like it and go from there. I'm not.
Okay, yeah, there's Brian. He's having a contest on his channel for reaching 3,000 subs. It's not too late to join, and I would like to invite all of you here to join that. And there's the link.
Have you posted your second week, Brian? I know you did your first week. I didn't see anything for your second week yet.
Steve Sherrill just said that Al Pugliese posted his. If you haven't seen that video, you should go watch that. Steve's got a fantastic railroad.
Yes.
We need to have him on our channel sometime. We can work it out. He's got a fantastic railroad. So I'd like to ask him some questions about his mountains and things like that, because he's got a lot of mountains and rock work.
Who is it?
Do you know him? Al Pugliese. Do you know?
He's got a channel, and he visits other people's railroads, and he does a lot with I can't think of his name. He's a real old modeler now.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. What's his name? Tony or something? Or yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's kind of funny. He's like
better late than never.
He's got a crazy sense of humor, and he's an awesome modeler.
Yeah,
incredible modeler. Yeah, that guy is like incredible. He builds like O scale.
Howard Zane.
Howard Zane. That's it. Yes.
Okay.
He's incredible, man. That guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both great modelers, but man, Howard, man, he builds these like huge O scale buildings, like 4 feet, like houses, and like mansions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a lot of room on layout for stuff like that.
Well, I think he sells them. He sells them. He doesn't.
Ah.
I don't know if he builds them for himself. Like sometimes they're usually for sale. You know, he'll build something like I don't know, say the White House or something, in O scale.
You missed it, Heath. We talked about operations for quite a little bit of the stream, but we've moved on.
Yeah, now it's the end of the show, so you missed it.
Yeah, so you're here now, so we're gonna leave.
Yep, we're
We gotta
over
start coaching,
time,
guys.
as Claude would
Yeah,
say.
we're out of time.
We're out of
Yeah.
time.
Anyway, you guys go. Make sure you go by. Check out Brian's
Sparky's meet and greet,
contest on his channel.
Brian's
Iron Horse.
contest, and I'll put a link to my video in this show in the comment section.
Yeah, and go look at Steve Sherrill's layout on Al Puglisi's channel. I know I murdered that name.
Yeah, and then also check out Sparky's channel for the meet and greet.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week.
See you next week. Have a good
Later,
week.
guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.